All right, welcome back to Big South Virtual Basketball Media Day. Our thanks to our coaches who have joined us so far with their student athletes, and as well as the media joining us today. We continue with Charleston Southern and women's basketball head coach Fred Applin, as well as senior guard Carmela Walker. Coach Applin, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead and jump in. Tell us how preseason practices have been for you and the team.
Hey, it's been very interesting with this COVID going on, but our kids adapt to it. The one thing I told them, we got to be flexible this year, and we got to stay our path, and we know where we want to go, and we got to stay on that path no matter what happens. So it's been really good. Preseason's been really good for us. They've come in and worked really hard, up to 6 o'clock mostly every morning, weights, and then classes, and then come back basketball. So I'm really proud of them right now.
Well, thank you, Coach, and let's welcome in Carmela Walker, senior guard. Carmela, from what Coach had just said, how has it been from your standpoint as a student athlete in the perspective of you and your teammates preparing for this year?
I think it's been good. I think we've been working really hard, showing our athleticism and just that we're ready to play this year.
All right. We will now take questions for both Coach Applin and Carmela. To ask a question, please enter your name in our group chat. We'll take them as they come in order. And while we wait for those to come through, Coach, you do have 4 starters back. And what does that mean to you as you prepare for this year? How much easier is that for you?
I just think the one thing is we've got to stay focused with the 4 kids coming back, the leadership of them, and letting our young players and our transfers know, hey, this is the way we're going to do things here, and how we can be successful and not repeat what we did last year. And just winning 4 games in the conference was just unacceptable for us. We want to win more games, but we want to be on the floor competing for 40 minutes. If you compete and you play hard, you may lose 1 or 2 games by 1 point. You can live with it. But if you don't compete, I can't live with that. That's not in my DNA, and it's not in these players' DNA when we recruit them.
Thanks, Coach. And we'll turn it over to Scott Iceberg, who has a question for you. Hey, Scott.
That was my bad. I'm muted. Hey, Fred. Hey, Mark. This year, it's one thing, to have the COVID surrounding, but you guys at the Buck Dome, it's a no fan situation. I guess that's one advantage you have with that building is that it's so tight and it's tough on visiting opponents. How tough is it for you that you kind of lose that this year?
Well, the one thing we talked about it as a staff is that we got to motivate ourselves every day for practice. And if we have fans in there, we got to play the game of basketball. So we got to stay focused. We got to stay positive. And we just got to come and compete. Yeah, we love to have our fans in here. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. They give us energy. So right now we got to look towards our basketball and our players and our staff, make sure that we have that energy and continue to set that energy throughout the game.
Scott, anything else?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right. We're taking questions for Charleston Southern women's basketball coach Fred Applin, senior guard Carmela Walker. And Carmela, for you personally, what are some of your goals that you're that you're setting for yourself and looking to achieve this coming season?
The goals I have for myself is to play hard, produce for my team, help my teammates out throughout the season, and to bring energy on the court and just do what I do best on the court and have a better record than last year.
And Coach, from a non-conference schedule standpoint, who do you have on the slate?
Well, we start at home with CIU, and then we go to Florida. We have Western Carolina. And I think that, we played them last year, so we're doing a return game for us. The Florida game is the second week of December. We're at Davidson, and then we have Florida A&M coming in. So that's going to be a good test for us. I think it would help us see where we need to be before we start conference play in December. The one thing is that, every day we talk about, we're so blessed that we have this opportunity to play this season. So let's cherish it, let's value it, because a lot of teams right now are not playing or practicing. And, the Big South and Charleston Southern, we've all been on the same game plan with this COVID so that we can have a season for our players.
Coach, with that, and you may have alluded to some of it in your opening remarks, but are there like three main things that you and the staff are focusing on or expecting to see with your squad this season?
Yeah, we've got to execute better. I didn't think we executed on both ends of the court last year, and that's something we've talked about is executing 94 feet both ways. We have to do that, but also we've got to rebound. We've got to be a better rebounding team. We lost some rebounds, which turns into points for the other team. We can't have that in our turnovers. We've got to decrease the turnovers, but sometimes you're going to have high turnovers because you want to play fast. And there's some good turnovers, but there's a lot of bad turnovers that we've got to correct. And I think we've done a good job of correcting that. And just compete. We've got to compete for 40 minutes. We do that, we can stay in the game. We're in a lot of games last year when we competed up to the end, but a lot of games we did not compete for 40 minutes. And that's something I think right now our players are hungry, the coaching staffs are hungry, our athletic trainers and managers, we're all in the same boat. And that's something that we're looking for right now.
And Scott Iceberg's got another question. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Fred, I know a couple of years ago, I did the story with you on, battling cancer. Has that had an effect on your COVID? Have you had to quarantine more? Are you more susceptible? Have you had to do extra things to avoid getting COVID or anything like that?
I have. I'm glad you asked that question. My sister does research in Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. And she sent me all kinds of masks, gloves, everything. I've got to be super, super careful. The COVID is attacking people in different ways. And, having cancer, that's the first thing that came out is I can't do the things I used to do, go hang out in the mall or hang at the beaches, with a big group in there. So I've kind of backed off and just taking care of myself and surroundings, being around the same people, our team and our staff that we get tested. Knowing that they're doing the safe things. So a good example for Thanksgiving, I got family members coming in. Everybody's going to be tested before they get there. So they understand how important this season is for me, but also for my health. And our players have done a great job. I've got to give it to them. We talked about it once about just taking care of each other and making sure, this COVID stuff does not spread through our team. And they have bought into it. My staff has bought into it. And I just appreciate the protocol that the university has given us, and I've just kind of gone with that.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. We have time for a few more questions for both Coach Applin and Carmela Walker. And Carmela, I'll ask another one for you. Personally, from your standpoint, what areas of your game are you looking to improve on for this season?
This season, I'm mainly looking to improve my mid-range shot because I didn't really take those last year. So during the summer and the time we had off from the COVID to now, I have been working straightly on my mid-range.
Thank you, Carmela. Not seeing any more questions for either of you. So we'll go ahead and wrap up, but we do appreciate you taking the time this afternoon to talk about the upcoming season. We do wish you the best of luck, and obviously wish you to stay safe and healthy as you prepare for the upcoming year. So thanks again.
Mark, thank you so much. Scott, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And you guys be safe out there just like we are with this COVID.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll now transition over to the men's side with 16th year head coach Barkley Radeball and his senior guard forward and the preseason player of the year on the men's side, Landrius Fleming Jr. First, Coach, good afternoon. Good to see you.
Hey, Mark. How are you doing?
Doing great. Let's jump in. How's the prep going for the season? And obviously managing through the protocols as you prepare for the season.
We hadn't had our first blitz yet. We're very thankful. And first, thanks for the opportunity and really want to thank the Big South. And I see Kyle and Shelley, and I don't see James on here, but I know he's around. Just the leadership of our Big South from the conference office has just been terrific as we've battled this. as we battled this virus and found a way to play. We have found a way to play, which we think is really going to be exceptional. Lots of meetings, lots of great leadership by a coaching committee within the coaches in the league, and just a great job. So very thankful to be here today. Very thankful for every day of practice, just every single day of practice that we get to play and practice. We're very thankful for. And so, I mean, just to see so many guys here and so many friends from the media here, and just the excitement of basketball season coming up. We want to play, and our guys have acted like that. They've practiced like that. They've responded to bumps. They've responded well to getting back in shape. It was such a challenge, Mark, from not playing all summer and then not having pickup. A big pickup is a big part of our culture here at CSU. It's a lot on how we get in shape. It builds family. It's very competitive. The coaches aren't in there. And so for our guys to come into preseason conditioning and to respond well to that, and then to start practice, to respond well to that, has just been outstanding. And we have made the best possible out of the situation that we were given. And so I'm thankful to our league. I'm thankful to our administration, and I'm thankful to our coaching staff and mostly to our players for wanting to play and having a strong desire to push through COVID and to play and practice the way that they have.
Thank you, Coach. Let's bring in our special guest from your squad, Landrius Fleming Jr., the preseason Men's Basketball Player of the Year. First, Flan, congratulations on that honor. What is your reaction to be voted the preseason Player of the Year?
Oh man, I appreciate you. It's just a blessing, man. I've been working for 4 years, been working my whole life, man. I'm just so glad that it's getting recognized, and excited for this year. Excited to be able to play with my guys. Like Coach said, coronavirus has made it weird, but this is the hand we were dealt, and we're going to play to the best of our ability.
So with that, you kind of touched on a little bit, how the preparations have been in this current environment. But from your perspective, what were some things that you've had to do personally differently as you prepared for this season?
Differently, mostly just like Coach said, we had to get in shape. There was a different type of environment that we didn't get to play pickup, and we usually do that almost every day because that, like he said, builds family, builds competitiveness, and allows for our freshmen before we even start practicing to come in and kind of learn our system and kind of learn everybody how they play. But we had to they had to kind of jump in because we wasn't able to do that. So just being able to get in shape and introducing the new guys in a different way, not being able to have them over like we usually do all the time. But it was difficult, but they're family now, and it's great.
This time we'll start taking questions for both Coach Radeball and Landrius Fleming Jr. Please enter your name in the group chat, and we'll take them as they come in. And first, we'll start with Kevin Bilodeau, who has questions for both of you. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, Flan, how's it going? Just wanted to ask you about, winning the preseason Player of the Year and what that means to you, and does that put any extra pressure on you going into the season?
It means a lot to me, man. I don't think it puts any pressure on me because for me personally, I don't look at accolades personally. I look at team accolades, and I only see all I see is the championship. All I see is the work coming before the championship and the season for my guys, man. I appreciate the accolades. I appreciate the shout outs, and I love it all. But personally, man, I just want to win.
And Coach, I know the team is the most important thing for you too, but to have Flan get this honor in the preseason, what does that mean for you and for this club?
Well, thanks, Kev. It means everything to me because I know where Flan came from, and I know how hard he had to work to get where he is. I mean, people forget Flanders came to us at 6'3", 172 pounds, just dripping wet. And he was a Georgia 3A Player of the Year. He had 2 offers, us and Army. And probably the most under-recruited, great player I've ever coached. and to see what he's done. And, you know, I'd love to sit here and say, wow, this was a great job by our staff and a great job by us. But the truth is, it's a great job by Flan. He lives in the gym. He lives in the weight room. He walks in the gym today, 6'4", 210 pounds. And he gained weight the right way. And so it means everything to me, because it means it's important that hard work is recognized and doing it the right way. And I mean, let's just be honest. Landrius has been extremely loyal to CSU in a climate where everybody transfers and everybody leaves and goes and plays. Landrius is in his 4th year here. He's a senior. He's going to graduate on time in the spring with a degree in business. He's going to play professional basketball. And he has grown his career the right way. And he's an example for young players across the country on how to do it the right way. And like people also forget, his sophomore year, you know, he only played in 18 games because of a stress fracture. And he played in the Pan Am games the summer before and just wore his body down and played with a stress fracture. So to see where he's come from as a player, to see where he is now as a player, Kevin, is just, I mean, it's really encouraging to me. It's encouraging to our young guys. It's an example that we can use of, listen, you stay loyal, you work hard, you stay focused academically, socially, and basketball wise, and this is where you can be. And so the preseason awards don't ever mean anything. We want the postseason. But it is a great example, not just for the big players in the Big South, but for players across the country on, man, you can reach your goals at the mid-major level.
And then, Coach, you guys were picked to finish 3rd in the preseason poll. You've been there long enough where you've been towards the top of these preseason polls and towards the bottom. Does it change any way that you go into the season and you try to motivate this team going into the year?
It does. It does. You know, we want to live up to those expectations. We want to meet and exceed expectations. I believe in this team. I thought, Kev, we had one of the top 3 teams in the league last year, and then, you know, we had 6 guys injured. And I've never been, in 30 years of college coaching, I've never been through anything like last year. And it galvanized our team, though. And I think before the season we loved each other. Man, do we love each other now. And man, that was tough to finish the season in the last 3 or 4 games with 6 players. And I think probably Flan played 40 minutes and it's probably 16 of our conference games. And so it means a lot to us, but we know we have a lot to live up to, and we want to. This group has a very strong want to. And if we can stay healthy, and if we can stay virus-free and have a rhythm to our season that's not interrupted continuously, then we feel like we can compete with anybody in our league.
Anything else, Kevin?
I'm good. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kev.
Move on to John Teitel for Coach Radeball. Go ahead, John.
Hi, Coach. Can you hear me?
I can. Thanks, John.
Thank you. 2 questions about Buccaneer Fieldhouse. Number 1, have you guys announced or decided how many, if any, fans can attend this fall? And secondly, since it's one of the tiniest gyms in the country, do you think that it will be an advantage or a disadvantage? Because, like, if you only allow 25% capacity, then it'll be like the size of the Zoom meeting in your gym.
We're only gonna allow 1,000 in our gym this year. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That would be a sellout. We are coming up with that number. We're fighting to get everybody in our gym that we can. Jeff Barber has done a phenomenal job. He wants them in here too, but safety is a priority, and we will have fans in there. Probably not many. But we're going to socially distance them, which presents challenges because of the NCAA rules on how far you have to be back from your benches. And how far tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 have to be away from fans. And so it presents challenges, but we're fighting for every person that we can get in there. And Jeff has just been phenomenal. He knows it's important to the players to have parents in there. It's important for the coaching staff to have family in there. And we want to get every single person that we can into the Buck Dome, every media person. We want them to feel safe. We want them to feel, they always feel welcome because we got great local media, but we want them to feel a part of it and safe. And so we're fighting, we're hoping to add through the year as hopefully we can make some progress with the virus. And so I don't know of an exact number yet, but there will be a few. Thank you, John.
Hey, John. Coach, we'll move on to Brian Hall, who's got a question for both of you.
It's great to speak with the Dean of the Big South coaches once again, Barclay. And also a question, too, for the rebounding machine, defensive machine there in Flan. First of all, Barclay, can you just sort of run down the way your team is looking right now outside of having the player of the year? You had so many guys injured last year, and I think when we played you both times you were down to 6 guys. But just a brief summary of the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to play Mike Morrell with 6 guys the way he presses. So that Mike was not very nice to me last year. No, I'm kidding. We love our team. Landrius has obviously earned the distinction as player of the year. I totally agree with that vote. I voted for him for player of the year. But I think we have a well-rounded team. I really love how Dede Buskey is playing at the 2 guard. He's scoring the ball well. He's leading. Ty Jones is a matchup problem, we feel, as an undersized 5-man, but he plays on the perimeter, plays inside. We've really tried to get him to defend a little bit better, rebound a little bit better. Travis Anderson was on the all-freshman team last year and was the leading scorer in the league off the bench and is better. I mean, TA's just better. He's a better player today than he was at the end of the season. So we feel great about them. Terence Porter was a freshman last year and it was injured for the entire year with a meniscus. And he's a 6'8.5", 6'8", 6'8.5" forward that can play multiple positions, that has guard skills. We had high hopes for him last year, and he had 13 and 9 in our scrimmage against Georgia Southern. So we felt great about him. Cedarius Bowser, really asking him to do more. We're asking Cedarius to do more. At 6'9", 240 pounds, 235 pounds in our league. We're asking him to do more. And we feel like he can do more. He's capable of doing more. Malik Battle was coming around. He's a sophomore, and then he broke his thumb. And then Sean Price was out hurt his back against Michigan State. And he was a starter. He would have started every game last year. And so Sean is back. And then Jameer Moore has greatly improved. We love our freshmen. We think it's the highest rated freshman class we've ever had athletically. They got to grow as basketball players. It's been tough on them because usually around here, we got, 4 freshmen and 7 sophomores, and we're so young, but we've been able, we love our culture. We're very thankful for our culture. And so our guys have stayed. And we got 4 4-year guys. I mean, find another team in the country that has 4 4-year guys. And we think Melvin, Jaquavian, and Emery are going to be really good players, but we feel like, Brian, they're in an appropriate spot right now. Mm-hmm. Like when Flan came in, okay, Flan, you're starting, go learn. They're going to be able to learn at a more healthy rate. Mm-hmm. And so they're very gifted athletically, very gifted. Flan will disagree with this, but Melvin he's the best athlete on our campus. Flan will think he's the best athlete on our campus. But we feel great about those guys. So it's been nice, Brian, to have some depth in practice. Yeah. One practice last year I tried to practice. That lasted about 10 minutes, and we made sure the defibrillator was hooked up down on that end and the oxygen tank was running. But we feel good about where we are as a team from a depth standpoint.
Awesome. great to see you. I look forward to seeing you up here for the back-to-back, it looks like. So
I know. Tell Michael hello.
I will. And Flan, just some thoughts about, you were so great as a freshman. I mean, we could tell right away that you were going to be a great player in the league. Now, as a senior, your responsibility, how do you see that personally? What is your responsibility?
I feel like my responsibility is to lead, is to teach my younger guys that what it takes to get to where I'm at, what it takes to win, and just allowing myself to just pour into them as much as I can before I leave, before the season is over with. But other than that, I'm here to do whatever it takes to win. Like you said, I'm here to rebound, I'm here to score, assist, anything I can do to win, get blocks. It doesn't matter. I'm that type of player, and I'm that type of person. I just want to win, no matter what it takes.
Why are you such a good rebounder?
I'm just more. I just hustle, man. I haven't always been the most talented. I haven't always been the most athletic, like Coach said. But I just work harder, and I just feel like I work harder than everybody. And if I can outwork the next person, then I'm gonna get the rebound.
Yeah. Well, you got it, man. Congrats on the honors of preseason. We'll see you this year.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. We're going to move on to Scott Iceberg. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey guys, I guess first for you, Flan, obviously you're good friends with Christian Keeling. You saw the route he went with trying to go big time his final year. It was very up and down. What did that play into your decision at all to say, all right, I'm going to come back and be the big fish in the small pond, if you will?
Talking about Christian, I was just talking to him today, man. He's in my city, about to train with my trainer. But no, that didn't play any role, man. Like Coach said, I only had 2 offers coming out of high school. And the one thing about me with basketball and the reason I came here and in life, it's about loyalty, man. If you're loyal to me, I'm going to show loyalty to you. And nothing against Christian because he made a decision based on what he believed in and everything. But I believe in loyalty. I believe in having this program just had my back throughout everything. My injury, they just poured into me, and I just believe that I wanted to come back and play for this school because they always show loyalty to me. And 2 offers, I only had 2, so I wasn't looking at no other schools. And the coaches always called me; they always was on me, and I just wanted to show the love that I have for them back by coming back another year.
Awesome. Thanks, Flynn. And for Barkley, I guess we're anticipating the showdown. Everyone's ready for the Barkley Radebaugh Coach K showdown. Are you ready for the Barkley Radebaugh Coach K showdown?
No. Good to see you, Scotty.
Good to see you too.
We wanted our schedule was very different this year, Scotty. It was like we knew we wanted to play a competitive schedule, and as we were completing our schedule, the University of Georgia offered us an opportunity to play in their MTE. And so we had been working to play Georgia because Flan is from Athens. And when they had a school pulled out of their MTE, Scotty, and they were calling around, and T. Butters was looking to complete our schedule. And so it front loaded we jumped on it. I say, well, come, you want to know who else is in it? No, I don't want to know. We will be there. We want to play there. We love Flan. We'll play whoever we'll be there. And so it front loaded our schedule. And so in the first 10 days between the 10th and the 15th, which would be 15 days, or 25th, the 10th and the 25th, we had all 4 of our guarantee games because it had no flow to it. It wasn't a great decision, but we wanted to honor Flan. And so when they moved our season back to the 25th, we lost Georgia, SMU, Ole Miss, and Florida State. And so the joy of playing those high majors, it's hard on me to play those high majors. It is. But it's great for our players. They love it. And they relish the opportunity to play. And so I got with our coaches and I said, we've got to come up with an attractive schedule for these guys. And the non-conference can motivate you in so many ways. And so when we had the opportunity to play Duke, we jumped on it because we lost Georgia, and that's a little bit deflating because we have so many guys from Georgia. And so Duke and Coach K and their staff has just been so gracious to us and kind to allow us that game. And it brought a little bit of pop and sizzle back to our non-conference schedule. And so we're very thankful for that. We're very thankful for the opportunity to also play NC State. Kevin has been great to us to play in their MTE. And so we wanted to create an attractive non-conference schedule because we got 4 seniors, and this is the last time they get to go through it.
How does it work with you and Duke? I mean, do you call them up and say, hey, do you got an opening, or do they find you, or is there like some kind of a website that you both go to and find each other?
Well, the way that goes for me is I walk in every morning and I say, T. Butters, is the schedule done? And so Coach Butters is over our schedule, and he'll say, no, it's not done. No, it's not done. Hey, let's get after it. Let's work together. What can we do? And so if you remember, his grandfather was the AD at Duke, right, that hired Coach K. And so we had an opportunity to play Duke we were going to be in their MTE, but I had given my word to Kevin Keats. And in scheduling, I mean, I'm not going to break my word on that. And I told Kevin, I'd given him my word that we would come to their MTE. So I was so disappointed that we lost Duke, and then they had an opening come up later in December, and we just jumped on it. And so all the credit for that and for all of the quality of our schedule, it goes to T. Butters. He worked his tail off night and day, lost our entire schedule and reshaped our schedule, working 24 hours a day really for about 3 weeks.
Awesome.
Thank you, Scott. Coach Flan, that's all the time we have this afternoon. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Congratulations on the preseason honor, Flan, and the 3rd place prediction, Coach. We wish you the best of luck. Stay safe and healthy, and look forward to seeing you all compete down the road.
All right. Thank you so much. You're getting ready to talk to a great coach in Q. So I'm excited about what he's doing at PC.
All right. Well, thank you all.